Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. I thought for today's video we could just sit down, chill, hang out, do a little Q&A. It's been a while since I've done a dedicated Q&A, and amidst me filming all of these videos for every single day in October, I thought a Q&A might be fun. I asked for your questions on my Instagram story and on my YouTube community tab, and you guys came through. There are so many questions. I will try to hit up as many as I possibly can, but if I don't get to your question, I'm so sorry. A lot got sent in, so I'm gonna do my best. And of course, before we hop into the video itself, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and TikTok by the time this video goes up. And let me just give you my jewelry details. You can't really see them, but these awesome iridescent ghost earrings are from Undoubtedly Mad on Etsy. I do not know where this choker is from. I stumbled upon it randomly. I could not tell you where it's from, a random website of sorts. This wig is from insert name here. You can use my non-affiliated code battybean for 10% off. This is a Neff brand beanie, and I just got this shirt recently from the shop called Hey Mavens. They're based out of Nashville, which I picked this up when we were visiting Tennessee recently, but they also have an online shop. All right, so without further ado, let's just hop in and answer your questions. Favorite childhood Halloween costume? Oh, that's good. I don't know if I have like a favorite because I did quite a few that I enjoyed. I feel like the one that sticks out the most is like a very old, heavily 90s costume of Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls, and it had this crazy felt like giant eyeball mask and giant hair made out of felt. I do not have a picture of it, or I would totally show you. That's what comes to mind the most as far as like what sticks out in my brain. I also was Blue from Blue's Clues as a young child. Favorite spooky item in my house? I don't know if I have a favorite spooky item. Honestly, just my bedroom in general. I've showed it in the vlogs many times. If you were curious, you can go check them out. But we have kind of a Tim Burton theme in our bedroom, and that's just gonna be year round for us. But we have a very large circle king bed with like black velvet on it, and it's so amazing and very like, I don't know. I wanna say vampire-esque, but vampires sleep in coffins, so that doesn't make sense. But it's just very extra, and I love it. And then we have black and white vertical stripe wallpaper, and then lots of like Tim Burton prints, and then we have an electric fireplace. So I feel like just my spooky Tim Burton room in general is probably my favorite. I love this question. Describe your perfect spooky day. Okay, I'm gonna give you two answers. One for if I'm staying at home all day, and one for if we have things to do. If I'm staying at home, my favorite perfect spooky day is sleeping with the windows open and waking up to that crispy, delicious chilly air. I wake up, maybe go on a nice long run because the weather is amazing. I come back, take a nice hot shower, and then the combination of the hot shower plus the cold breeze coming through the window, it just mixes together in perfect harmony. I make myself some yummy cinnamon rolls or waffles with some nice pumpkin coffee. And then I probably just sit on the couch in my blankets, cuddling the cats, watching spooky movies all day. Maybe I'll bake cookies later that night. That is peak perfection. I honestly might even clean a little bit during that too, because my favorite time to clean is when the weather is super crispy like that. I love it. And then the alternative answer if we're going and doing stuff is kind of starting out the day the exact same way, but then maybe going to like a pumpkin patch or even Halloween at Disney or just something like that. I want to do something that screams fall and Halloween, maybe even just Halloween decor hunting, something of that nature. That's my perfect spooky day. If I could visit anywhere in the world and do anything, what would it be? You know, I recently decided that I really want to go to Germany, so that's like heavy in my brain right now. The aesthetic is so cute. I love the different buildings and the villages and stuff. We recently went to Rock City when we visited Tennessee, and it's heavily inspired by the creator's love of like the German aesthetic essentially and architecture, and it just made me want to visit real Germany real bad. But I also really want to visit Iceland and Ireland. I want to visit all over Europe, honestly. I really want to go to Japan. There are so many other places in the States that I want to go. I want to visit the West Coast really bad because I haven't been over there. I have so many things on my bucket list. Salem, Massachusetts, also Boston. I need to visit Canada. The list goes on. I want to do it all. What do I love the most about making videos and being on YouTube? Honestly, the community aspect is probably my favorite part. I love being able to chat with you and relate with you and have conversations, and we can share our interests, and it's just a lot of fun being able to chat with you guys. It's awesome being able to just open my phone and respond to comments and see what you guys have to say. I just love hanging out with you. What's your favorite scary movie and what movies frighten you the most? My favorite scary movie is It Chapter 1. It Chapter 2 is a close second. I love those movies so much, but they are like comfort movies for me. I just love them. I adore Pennywise. I don't really know what movies frighten me that much because I don't really get super scared from movies anymore. I've just gotten so desensitized to it. There's movies that make me uncomfortable, like heavily torture-esque movies are not my thing. I can handle the Saw movies because there's definitely some story aspect to them and a lot of them are kind of cheesy, but when it's like very gruesome torture, I'm not really down with that. Do I miss anything about renting? No. I sure don't. I love owning a home. Thankfully, we haven't really had to fix anything that's broken yet, but to be fair, in all the other apartments we've lived in, it takes them forever to actually get around to fixing stuff and they never actually fix it. So I'm actually kind of excited to actually fix things when they break instead of just like putting a band-aid on it. If money weren't an object, what clothing or accessory item would you buy? I would probably buy the Jaden Max boots from Doc Martens right this second because I love my Jaden boot so much. It has a zipper so it's easier to put on than lacing up the regular boots and I like how thick the platform is, and the Jaden Maxes are the same, but they're even taller and I love them. I would buy those in a heartbeat. What is my ethnic background? I have no idea. I don't know anything about my family history. I want to take one of those tests just to find out. All I know is I'm super white. All of my close family members are also super white. Where we are from, I could not tell you. How many cats is too many cats? Is 5 difficult? The amount of cats is gonna vary depending on you as a person. Having more cats requires more attention and more money because you have to do what's best for your cats. We make sure we get them really good food. We have fancy litter boxes, a nice litter, tons of toys. They have a cat subscription service for toys and everything. It's Meow Box, by the way, if you were wondering. We're at the point now where 5 doesn't feel like too many. We happily accepted our new little kitten, Edelyn, with open arms and we love her. Whenever we were at our old apartment, it felt a little crammed and it wasn't gonna really work to get a 5th cat, and that wasn't even on our mind to get a 5th cat. But now that we're in our home and we're settled and there's a lot more space, we were ready to open up our arms to another animal. And at this point, we probably could also house another cat if we wanted to, but we don't want a 6th cat. We're good with 5 for now, at least. We'll see what happens down the road, but at the very moment, 5 is plenty. And 5 is not difficult at the moment. I mean, we have a baby around now, so that can be a little bit more difficult because she requires a little bit more attention because she's a baby, she's growing, she's teething, all the good stuff. But I wouldn't say it's difficult. No, I feel like we're very seasoned cat parents at this point. What are some career/YouTube goals for the next year or so? Oh, I don't know, because I have 2 things. Like I do my YouTube thing on the side, but my main gig is I have my own salon at studio, for those of you who don't know. My biggest goal is continuing to find a good work-life balance. I'm really trying to get the hang of like working both to where I don't feel overworked in either direction, but while also prioritizing my salon because that's the most important to me. I don't know what my major goals are. I guess just to continue growing, continue learning, continue trying new things in both aspects really, but specifically with hair. Just continuing to grow and further expand my knowledge. I don't have any plans to leave my studio. I love working by myself. I don't have any plans to grow past that and have employees or anything, especially with doing this YouTube thing on the side. That's way too much. I love being by myself. As far as YouTube goes, I mean, I'd love to grow. I would love to get bigger. I would love to make this more of a stable set of side money so that I can just help further support all the things. Another collab would be real cool. I would not be mad at that. You know, I don't know. I don't really have anything specific. I try not to like get my heart too set on a specific number because that can become like obsessive. I want to see how things go. I want to try new things, meet more people. I would love to travel with YouTube. Like I'd love to be able to go to like an event. That would be such a cool goal, like achieved. I would love to do that. What are your favorite spooky season movies? Okay, I'm gonna forget some. I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna forget some. Trick or Treat is my favorite horror specific Halloween one. There are so many good horror movies, but I'm focusing specifically on the concept of Halloween. Michael Myers' Halloween is also good, but Trick or Treat's my favorite for Halloween time. Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, all the Tim Burton things. Beetlejuice specifically. Haunted Mansion is amazing. Frankenweenie, oh, that's Tim Burton. I'm just gonna be going in circles. It's so hard to think of favorites, like just all the things. I can't think of favorites. Leave me your favorites down below. What would you like to see in future makeup releases? I just want to continue seeing more innovation. I want to continue seeing more very curated, specific collections. I don't feel like we are at the point now where we need just vague neutral collections or vague rainbow collections. I want things that are very specific and special and curated and themed. If you could do another collab, who would it be with? That's a great question. I would love to collab with Odin's Eye or Kaleidos. Honestly, Alien Cosmetics suits my aesthetic really well. Who else is back here that I would collab with? Melt Cosmetics would be a dream. Nomad could even be fun, but I'm not very well traveled, so I don't think I would be the perfect fit for them. I don't know, there's so many good brands. Honestly, if any of my favorite brands approached me, I would probably say yes. I had a couple people asking why I changed my name from battybean to battybean. I've talked about this a few times, but I'll just reiterate for those of you who didn't catch the memo. It was just time for a change, essentially. It was time for a change. I wanted something that was a little bit more me, and I feel like I'm more than just the beauty side of things. Like, I don't just care about makeup. And I felt like battybean just fit better. It suits my aesthetic more, and I enjoy it. I feel like I don't know, I feel more myself ever since I've changed it. Any future decorating ideas for your house? I don't know if I have anything specific because I've really been trying to attack it ever since we moved in so I could really make it feel like home. The biggest thing that we have planned is we already had someone come out to give us an estimate to screen in our porch. We're gonna get like remote controlled screens for our patio so that they can go down or go up, and I can't wait to have that screened in. I think they're gonna come and do it within the next like 3 to 5 weeks, something like that. And I'm so pumped because the cool weather is gonna be coming soon, and it's gonna get to the point where it's cool all day, thankfully. Right now it's only crispy at like 7 a.m. But it's about to expand past that, hopefully within the next month. So I can't wait to just have that patio open and let the breeze come in. I'll probably start working on decorating the backyard a little bit. I really wanna add a hammock when the weather gets better too. That's kind of where I'm at right now. As far as the interior, I don't really have anything specific because I've been working so hard to get it together. So there isn't really anything major right now. What kind of YouTube content do you enjoy watching? I love watching vlogs. I love watching like decorating videos and lifestyle-y videos. I love watching chatty videos because I have them on in the background. Like, I love listening to people's Q&As or reacting to assumptions. I love listening to videos like that. I like listening to videos that are almost more podcast style than regular videos. That's what I enjoy watching lately. Mostly just because I don't really have time to sit and physically watch a video, so I need things that make good background noise mostly. How long did me and Zane meet, and how long were we dating before we got married? We just met through mutual friends. We met because my best friend at the time had dated his best friend at the time, and that's just how we ended up knowing each other. We were friends for about 1.5 years, and then we started dating in 2013. Yes, no. Yeah, 2013. July of 2013, we just hit our 8-year total anniversary, and we'll be at 2 years married in February. So, you know, it's so hard to remember. Guess we were dating for about 6 years before we got engaged, and then we got married a little over 1 year later. And here we are now. So yeah, we've been dating for over 8 years, married almost 2. Have I always been into Halloween? I feel like I've definitely gotten more into it with age because my family wasn't super into it. They weren't against it. We definitely went trick-or-treating, but my family wasn't the family that decorated for Halloween. I didn't even know that was something you did until I met friends whose families decorated for Halloween, and I thought it was super cool. It just kind of evolved more and more over time, but I have always enjoyed Halloween. I love dressing up and trick-or-treating and carving pumpkins. I just always loved that. I feel like I've always been the happiest from like September, October through the end of December. Favorite Halloween candy? I love Hershey's cookies and cream bars, specifically when they're shaped small, like little tombstones or fangs or something spooky. I love Reese's pumpkins. I love sour candies. I like Skittles. I like M&Ms, even though that's very basic. I love M&Ms. I don't know, I like all the Halloween candy, except for like circus peanuts. Favorite nail polishes for fall? I mostly wear black. Honestly, like black is just what I go to because I do hair for a living and I do a lot of vivids and then they get stained, so it's just not worth it. So black is usually what I gravitate towards always. But if I had it my way and I could wear any color in the world without worrying about it getting stained, I'd be wearing mustard yellows and olive greens and burnt oranges and wine colors. Actually, maybe not wine colors. Maybe that would be more November. This time of year though, like, yeah. mustard yellow, burnt oranges, olive greens, blacks, all that good stuff. What are your favorite hair care products? For shampoo and conditioner, I mostly use the Verb Ghost line on myself. I do love Olaplex, but I'm not currently coloring my hair as of this moment. I might change it up soon. But on my guests in the salon, I enjoy using Olaplex, the Verb Ghost line. I like the IGK products a lot. I enjoy the Thirsty Girl line and the volumizing line. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. Pulp Riot has my favorite purple shampoo ever, and Malibu Sea has my favorite clarifying shampoo. As far as styling products go, I use a lot from Guy Tang, Pulp Riot, and IGK. I always use a heat protectant on my hair and my guest hair. I like using texture sprays in mine just to zhuzh it up a bit because my hair is very flat and straight, so I like to just spray it around and shake it around so it gives it a little more volume. That's kind of the extent of what I do in my hair. Whenever I do curl it, which I haven't really been feeling that vibe lately, I hairspray it as well, usually with Guy Tang. On my guests in the salon, kind of the same things, but I also use like the Olaplex oil and the Olaplex cream, the number 6 and 7. There is a hydrating hair balm from IGK that I really enjoy. It adds a lot of moisture, but it doesn't feel super thick. Off the top of my head, those are my favorite things. Olaplex is supreme though, out of everything. Do you get recognized when you're out and about, and do you mind if you are? I have never just gotten recognized by a stranger before. I am not at that level yet, so that would be very cool. I've met a couple subscribers through doing their hair, just people that happen to live in the North Central Florida area, and they message my hair page, which is Alchemy Salon Studio, if you were curious. So I've gotten to meet a couple people that way, which is really cool, but no, I've never gotten recognized just randomly out and about. Best eyeshadow primer right now, my favorite, is the Milk Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I'm loving this stuff. I think it's amazing. I think I like it more than my Smashbox Lid Primer, to be honest with you. What other tattoos do you want to get? I want so many. I want to sleeve up this whole arm so bad, but this one just took so long. And I just don't feel like doing the process right now. I don't feel like starting that journey. I'm working on my thigh right now, actually. I have one big one on my thigh right now. I have a big Pennywise, and I'm gonna start adding some more pieces. I'm getting my next one in November. I'll share about it when the time comes. I wanna get a lot more on my legs, honestly. I really want my knees done, even though that's gonna be brutal. I really want my shins and calves. I have all the plans. It's just a matter of doing them. I really want my sternum done under here. Basically, if there's a self-conscious part of my body, which is most of the parts of my body, I want to slap a tattoo on it and that'll feel better. If you never got into hair, do you think you would have gotten into makeup at some point? There's a high possibility of that because I wasn't really into makeup when I started doing hair, and I started doing makeup on myself, just like little bits of it because I felt like I had to, because cosmetology school really pushes like you have to do like makeup and style your hair a specific way kind of thing, which I do not agree with now. I feel like you should just present yourself confidently, and as long as you're hygienic, I feel like that's what matters the most. Like, you want to make sure you're like on trend and in style and you don't look like you just rolled out of bed, but I don't feel like you have to wear a full face of makeup at work every day. I sure don't wear a full face of makeup at work every day. But I don't know, there's a high possibility I would have gotten into makeup because it wasn't really doing hair that got me into it. It was just kind of lightly experimenting and then discovering YouTube, so yeah. What are my moon and rising signs? Well, I'm a Cancer sun, Cancer moon, and Capricorn rising. What is my favorite place to eat in the Orlando area? So I don't live in Orlando, but I do live close enough to Orlando that we've been quite a few times. Dixie Dharma is really good. It's a really yummy vegan place. That's one of my favorites. Oh, and we also really like Humble. That's another, I want to say they're vegan. They might just be vegetarian place as well. Humble is great. How do I stay/get inspired to be creative? I feel like when I'm in a rut and I'm struggling, I just try to force myself to use something new, even if it's just something that's like new in the moment, like I haven't used it in a very long time, or I try to switch up a technique a little bit. I just try to do something different because sometimes that kind of kickstart my creativity again and gets me going. Do you ever feel burnt out? You put out a lot of content while having a separate career. Sometimes I do, yeah. It just sometimes can feel very overwhelming if I'm doing a lot at a time, especially if I'm equally super busy in the salon and super busy trying to push out videos. It can be a lot. Usually I just try to force myself to take a break, like give myself a day to just do nothing, and then I kind of rebalance again. Favorite hobby outside of beauty? I have been enjoying going on runs lately. I don't know if I'd consider that a hobby though. Honestly, I don't do a whole lot outside of hair and makeup because it's very time consuming to do all of the things. I enjoy going out to eat and trying new food. Oh, we really enjoy going to the movies. We try to go to the movies usually once a week or so, sometimes even more if there's multiple things coming out, because we have the Regal Movie Pass so we can go as much as we want. And I love it. So going to the movies is probably our favorite one right now. What is my least favorite holiday? I don't know, April Fool's Day maybe. I feel like it's just kind of annoying. I don't really get down with St. Patrick's Day too much either, or 4th of July. Yeah, those, the like summer, spring holidays. What makes you feel most fulfilled in your life at the moment? I feel like what makes me feel most fulfilled right now is being able to just hang out in my home with my husband and my cats. Owning a house was like lifelong goal, like biggest bucket list ever. My parents never owned a home, so being able to sit in my actual home is the best feeling ever, and that's what makes me feel the best right now. Do you ever think you'll be a minimalist as far as home decor goes? I don't think so, and I don't think I'm on the extreme end either, like a maximalist or anything. I think I just like, I don't know, very cute decorated spaces, because I don't like too much clutter either. There's a balance, but I don't know if I'd ever be a minimalist either, because sometimes that can feel a little too sterile for me personally. I like seeing some things. Are you bisexual? Yes, I am. I sure am. I sure am. I've even done a couple makeup tutorials on the bi pride flag. How are you really? I like that question. That's a nice question. I'm actually doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well. If you could be any character in any movie, what movie would you choose? So that's more so like what movie would I want to be and not so much the character. I don't know. I don't know what movie I'd want to live in. My mind first goes to Derry, Maine from the It movies, but I don't feel like I actually want to live there, you know? I don't know, maybe I want to live in Halloween Town from Nightmare Before Christmas. That'd be cool. If you were to restart your channel today, what would you do differently knowing what you know now? I don't know. It's so hard to say because like when you're small, it's really hard to grow in the first place. So I don't really know if there's anything I could have done differently. Maybe I just would have tried to connect with other small creators earlier on because I didn't really start connecting with people until later. So maybe I would have just tried to connect with people sooner. Some people just wanted general updates on the new kitty, little Edalyn, or Ida. We named her that from the Owl House on Disney+. She's doing pretty great. We've had her about 5 weeks now and she's doing really well. She's getting more and more friendly with the other cats, which she was never not friendly. Like she was ready to play the second we brought her home. It's the other cats that took a little second to warm up to her. But everyone's doing pretty good. She's very snuggly. She's so sweet. She screams all the time, which apparently is a black cat thing from what I'm hearing from other people. We love her. She's the best. Would you color your hair a different color again? And if so, what would you do? I would. I just wasn't for a while because I've been in the process of growing my hair out and I didn't want to deal with keeping up with color and just trying to grow my hair out. I figured I'd just leave it alone. And I've actually learned to like my natural color a lot. It's just a really dark brown. I still don't think it's very special, but I do get compliments on it all the time, which does make me feel good. I think I would color it again. I'm debating between a couple different things. I don't even know if I want to say them. I kind of just want it to be a surprise whenever I decide to do it, but I do want to color my hair again, yes. I like to do really dark looks with black and gray eyeshadow and black lip products. What is the best dark makeup you've used? Right now I love the Surge palette from Blend Bunny. It's not all dark, but it has like a huge chunk of just really deep, rich jewel tones and it's beautiful. I've been loving that. I also love the Blow and Smoke palette from Colourpop. That's just a perfect like gray black scale palette. It's so good. As far as dark lips, I love Black Moon Cosmetics Sleepwalker. That is the ultimate black lip, in my opinion. How many languages do you speak or which you'd like to learn / fascinate you? I only speak English. I did take Spanish in high school. I can understand some things, but I do not speak Spanish by any means. I don't know. I feel like just learning Spanish would be very helpful since it's a very prominent language here in the States. What are your favorite and least favorite parts of the new house? I literally have no least favorite parts. I did have a least favorite part. In our living room, I've talked about this in the vlogs, we have 2 little privacy windows and we wanted to mount our TV on that wall, but we didn't realize until after the fact that the way the studs were aligned made it so there was a stud directly in the center. So when you mounted it to the 2 studs, it was off center and it was so painfully obvious because of those 2 little privacy windows because the TV would be like over here instead of centered and I hated it. But we recently, about a month ago, had a handyman come out and like install 2x4s and recenter it to the 2x4, so now it's perfect. So now I really don't have any gripes with the new house. I don't even know if I have like a specific favorite part. I just love having a house. I can't stress it enough. It's like my favorite thing ever. Favorite Starbucks drink? As far as coffee goes, peppermint mochas all the way. You can technically order it year round even though it is a holiday drink, but when holiday time comes, I usually get them more often. As far as not coffee drinks, I have been loving a blended strawberry lemonade with sweet cream cold foam on top. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It's so good. Oh, I also love the pink drink with a sweet cream cold foam. Delicious. What's your favorite Disney World park? Oh, it's so hard to pick a favorite. It's so hard to pick a favorite because like Magic Kingdom is the classic, the OG. Animal Kingdom is amazing though. I love Animal Kingdom. I love the safari ride so much. Epcot has such good food and I love walking through the countries, but then Hollywood Studios has Tower of Terror. Oh, it's so hard to pick a favorite. I think if I only had to pick one though, I might go with Animal Kingdom, which is what you said as well, so I think I agree with you. My favorite non-spooky film? Lion King is my favorite movie, probably ever. Like I've always loved Lion King. I have the cave drawing of Simba on my shoulder. That was my first tattoo. Fantastic Mr. Fox is a recent favorite. It's my best friend Mackenzie's favorite, and I finally watched it about a year ago, and now I'm obsessed. I love 500 Days of Summer. I love Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love 50 First Dates. Zane and I watch that every so often. It just cracks us up. It's such a silly movie. I like a lot of movies, and I'm a perpetual rewatcher, so I rewatch the same movies all the time. It's so hard to pick favorites. Those are the ones that come to mind, though. Would you ever move to a different country? Cats and husband would be able to come too, of course, and if so, where would you move? I feel like the idea of moving to Canada sounds lovely. That's probably what I'd pick as of right now, but again, I haven't traveled to other countries, so I can't really say. Do you wear makeup every day, and if so, does it ever give you burnout? I know you said sometimes you do multiple looks in a day, and I often wonder how, between filming, editing, and your salon, how you ever have time for yourself at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't have a ton of time for myself at the end of the day. Sometimes I am doing multiple looks, like, usually I don't do multiple looks on a day that I'm also working in the salon. Usually if I'm doing 2 looks in a day, it's like a dedicated filming day. I do wear makeup most days, probably 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, just because I'm constantly having to put out videos. Very rarely do I do makeup just for myself. I'm almost always filming it. If I'm not filming it, it's probably just like I smeared a super shock on my eye and threw on some freckles and concealer and called it a day. The only time I do like more elaborate looks and I don't film is if I'm traveling because I'm not here to film. Yeah, I don't really get burnt out from wearing makeup every day. I feel like, again, I mentioned earlier, if I start to feel kind of bored or uninspired, I usually try to switch things up, do a different technique or something like that. But I try to do different techniques fairly frequently anyways. I don't know. I do get burnt out sometimes, but again, I just try to take a break. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? How will your YouTube/social media channels play a role in your ideal trajectory? Not to hate on your question at all. Don't take it this way, but I hate that question just because it's so hard to predict where you see yourself in 5 years. Because 5 years ago when I was 22, I never would have thought I'd be where I am right now. I never in a million years thought that Zane and I would be married. We were together at that time, but I mean, maybe I thought we'd be married by now. But I didn't think we'd have our house. I didn't think we'd have 5 cats. We did have Absol and Kanade then, and we got Felix that year too. But I was barely starting this stuff, and I was still just kind of getting into the hair game. It's so hard to see. Like, I never would have guessed I would have had my own studio. I don't know where I see myself in 5 years. I'm hoping I will have traveled/be traveling way more. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if this has grown to the point where maybe I could just work in my salon studio 3 days a week and then do this like 2 or 3 days a week and then have a completely dedicated day off day every week. That would be amazing. I don't know, I feel like that's the best answer I got for you. Ooh, what's your favorite fall/spooky season comfort snack? I love chili, I love soups, I love cookies and brownies. Oh, I'm making myself so hungry. Oh, that sounds so good. If you had to pick a totally different career other than YouTuber and hairstylist, what would be your backup? I literally have not the foggiest idea. I couldn't tell you. I wanted to do hair when I was in school. Well, before that, I wanted to be a teacher because I thought I had to be because I was always good with kids, which I feel like being good with kids and enjoying kids are 2 different things. I've just always had younger siblings around, so I know how to handle kids, but I'm very glad I did not take that journey. I do not think I'd be a good teacher or person working in the childcare field of any nature. Not that teaching is childcare, but you know what I mean, just working with children. I'm glad that didn't happen. So I don't really have any other ideas. I feel like at this point, just knowing what I know now, maybe like getting into marketing could be cool, working with brands in like more of a corporate aspect, not corporate aspect, but you know, like the background end of things, the PR side of things, that could be fun. And I guess I'll just end it here. Have I ever had any paranormal experiences? Not specifically, but I will tell you a quick story. This was not legal. This was trespassing, just to warn you. But when I was about, gosh, how old were we? My friends and I, we were about like the 16, 17-year-old range, and my friend at the time, well, she's still my friend, I just don't want to like throw her name onto the internet with this story. Not that it really matters anymore, it was so long ago. Probably literally 10, 11 years ago. Her mom used to like clean houses, I think, or something like that, and she knew of this place in a community. It was a house, and it had a pool, and the people who lived there like very rarely came here, like their real house was somewhere else or something like that. I know I'm being very vague right now, I just can't remember specifics, but we eventually decided let's all as friends go sneak into this person's pool because they don't live in this house right now. So we'd sneak into that pool sometimes and swim in the pool, and then we'd just go home. But then one time, one of the friends that was with us discovered that the door to the house was open. Again, so not okay. Would I do this again? Absolutely not. But we were stupid teenagers, and we ended up venturing into the house. We were so freaked out. We were convinced that it was haunted and that it was spooky and scary. But needless to say, we were only in there for maybe an hour, if that. And then we left, we all went our separate ways. And then another time, a small group of us decided, let's sleep over in this house. And we were so scared. I went with my boyfriend at the time, actually, and we were gonna be meeting our two friends later that night, but we got there first. And I was terrified. I just sat scrunched on the couch as random lights were flickering. I was so freaked out. I literally don't think we slept that night when our friends actually came. I think we were all just kind of freaked out, and we just stayed awake until the next morning, and then we left. And then for literally a week straight, I had dreams about going to that house and getting murdered by ghosts. So was it haunted? I don't know. Was it a paranormal experience? I don't know. I feel like it wasn't, but maybe it was. If it was, that's the closest I've ever had. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my little Q&A. If I didn't get to your question again, I'm sorry. There were so many, so I was just trying to scroll through and pick the ones that I saw frequently asked. I would love to chat with you down below if you have any comments on any of these questions or want to answer any yourself. We can have a little chat down below. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a Halloween-related emoji. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you could go follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I am battybean on everything. I post every single day on Instagram, and I'm pretty active on TikTok and Twitter as well. You can subscribe as well if you're new here. I'm posting every single day in the month of October. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.